Hey everyone, this is Dan with Data Trend. Today is Friday, February 5th, 2016. It's about 2:20 p.m. or so here. The market just closed a little bit ago. And let's take a look at the market. We had a bit of a red week this week. We're looking at a weekly chart of the Russell 2000 right now. And you can see basically we pushed a little bit higher earlier in the week, and then from there it's just been pretty steady selling. We ended the week down, I think, off over 4.5%. I haven't done the exact math, but I know it's over 4.5%. We closed last week, I think, around 10:35 ish, and we ended this week at 985. So it was pretty solid down week, and we got rejected here from the 2009 trend line that we've been watching, and we didn't really even get up into this area of potential resistance, that it pointed out from like 1054 down to 1035 or so. The market barely nudged into there, found resistance at this trend line, basically turned lower. So it's possible at this point, certainly, that we could come down here to test the recent lows. We'll have to see what happens on Monday and how the market opens, but anything's possible. It is a pretty volatile market out there, and for a lot of people, it's probably better just to not be trading at this time. This is jumping over to the daily time frame. So what you can see is the market pushed up here into our upside expiration break evens for the March CIB. We adjusted the trade up, and we're sitting right now in a position where upper expiration break even is around 1045 and the lower is down around 955. So with the market selling off today, we're sort of coming down into the lower third of the butterfly, or just beyond the halfway point at any rate. And we're getting close to a downside adjustment point of closing one of the upper butterflies. But I didn't quite get that adjustment off at the close today, and that's all right. I did, however, buy an out of the money put in IWM just to carry through the weekend. And it's not going to do much on a small decline, say down into the 975-ish area or something like that. But if we had a huge gap open lower, the market down 5-10%, something like that, it'll be helpful in that sort of a scenario. And that's really what I bought it for. Dropping down to the 65-minute time frame. So these are today's candles that are outside of this box that we've been watching. And this level here, 985-ish, is an area that we've been talking about. We said if we broke this 995 to 1,000-ish area, we were expecting the market to come down and potentially test this 985. And we essentially closed right there on that level today. So we're right where we would expect to be. And the question really from here is if the market finds a little bit of support, or if we push down lower, back down into like the 960-ish area, somewhere down there. And certainly, I'm not going to predict what happens. We are in a declining market. The market's moving fast. The daily range is pretty big. So there's a lot of reason to reduce size and just be cautious right now. The market's essentially gotten rejected here at the declining 5 and 10-day moving averages now to come down and test this level. And where it goes from here is either going to be lower or higher, and we really don't know what's going to happen. It is kind of sitting at a critical point, and that's probably the biggest takeaway at the level that we're sitting at right now. Is if we break lower, there could be some sort of a panic that ensues, and certainly we haven't seen a ton of panic, at least in terms of volatility, just yet. But I think if we broke down here and got below this 958 level, people would start to become concerned. So it's just going to be, Monday we just need to be cautious, and we need to be aware that we're sitting at an inflection point in the market, and a push lower that fails and heads back higher is also another scenario that could play out. So just be cautious and realize that the market's moving fast right now. If we come over and take a look, this is a picture of the March CIB. So the position's fine. We had all the selling today. We ended the day here down around 985. I'd been watching this 990-ish level to make an adjustment, and really we pushed down below 990 or so just in the last part of the day. And with that move lower, you can see here I picked up an IWM Mars 16 82 put just for 38 cents. And that's just one of those disaster protection type of puts. It's not going to do much, but if we do get a big decline down into here, to the 880 area, somewhere like that, 5-10% decline that we're not expecting, there will be something there to cushion that fall, and that's really the only reason I bought that. So the position as it sits right now is starting to get a little bit long delta, and this is one of the reasons that I'm thinking about closing out this upper fly here at 1020. So at 985, we're a little bit long delta. We have negative 36 gamma, 28 theta, Vegas negative 101, and an open profit about 156 or so. So we're sitting, roughly where we were yesterday. not too much to be worried about going into the weekend, although we are starting to kind of slide off of the backside of the T plus 0 line, which I'm not crazy about. And the most likely adjustment at this point would be to close out the upper call, which is at 101, and also to get rid of the 1070, 1020, 970 butterfly. And if we were to do that, I'll just click these positions on. You'll see here what the position would look like if we were to do that. So in doing that, we'll end up basically flat delta, short a little bit of gamma here, and kind of sitting on top of the curve. And we'll be okay as long as we don't get a fast move higher. But this is probably the most likely immediate adjustment. And if we do start to move back up into this 1,000-ish level after making this adjustment, probably what we'll do is just roll up one of these short puts to flatten out this T plus 0 line a little bit. So we're just going to see where the market opens on Monday, and we'll go from there. If the market opens higher and trades higher, there's really not going to be anything to do. If we open lower or we open about the same and continue to trade lower, it's probably going to be time to get a little bit more defensive with the position and change it into something that looks like that. I mean, that gives us room down into 950, and if you recall, the recent low was around 958. That was the absolute low. So that gives us some room to work still, and we should be okay. So that's all I have. I hope you had a good week. Have a good weekend, and we will see you next week. Thanks for watching.